Broadcasting, awesome. All right. Well, let's see. I'm going to share my screen. Let's see if this works. Cool. So I'm going to hit play on the slides. If they don't work and like they're not moving, somebody like yell something out because I won't be able to see you guys. But welcome to our first network call, like for this year. You guys have had other ones. For some of you guys, this is the first call overall. I would do introductions, but we're already late, so we'll do introductions at the end. You can spend the entire call wondering who the other people are. Our agenda for this call is going to be a quick SNC recap, a review of August, going over the NST and their roles, any trackers and tools that we have, focus areas for the month, talking about the ICX audit and value delivery, and then any topics that you guys want to talk about or bring up. I'll try to go through the first parts as fast as I can since it's more me talking. But anything else here that like you guys really want to see, shout it out now. All right, awesome. Wow, John, you're so great. You thought of everything. So quickly an SNC recap. So first we went over the facts around the product. And so this is the iGT, like just state of iGT and ISIC US, with the biggest like concerns being just a really big decrease that we've had. Both on the MC term, but also in the EB terms from last year. For iGE, it's another story completely, where iGE is growing a lot, especially in the term. And hopefully, as we move into the second round of pilots, this will be the last semester that we're piloting iGE, and we can start to see more results from more LCs. Cool. We also launched new growth paths with new tiers. So for iGT, tier 1 was 0 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 20, 21 to 30, and tier 5 is doing over 30 iGT. The reason being that when you look at like the top LCs globally, especially in the Americas, over 30 really puts you in like a very small group of LCs in iGT. Then for iGE, 0 to 10 is tier 1, 11 to 20 is tier 2, 21 to 30 is tier 3, 31 to 40 is tier 4, and doing above 40 is tier 5. These won't be affecting membership. It's something I said at SNC, but for anybody who wasn't there, these won't affect your membership right now because like you can't focus in iGE, so we don't want this to change anything. So if you're trying to still hit like full membership, it's still 16 iGT and iGE combined. The other thing we talked about is being simple and focused, and that translating into trying to focus on different sub-products, with IT being the national focus and engineering being like a new product and market that we want to explore. And I know from talking to some of you guys, some LCs have already started looking at engineering opportunities and how they can work with that in their market. The goal being 175 GTs. For GE, BA and marketing being the focus because it's what we've done before. We've shown that it can happen, and exploring what can we look at, especially with undergraduate IT and bringing in projects for that. For the winter, I recommend you run mostly 8-week projects because our top IR partners, or the easiest ones for visa, only have 8-week breaks, and for summer, looking at 12-week projects. And the goal being 140 GEs. So then we went into hacking, and these were the 3 different questions that we had. How can an LC have 20 IGT realizations in one subproduct, 30 IGE realizations in one subproduct, and these 4 questions around standards. You can check the full output. If you check out the SNC output, I'm not going to go through every slide. That would take too long. Then looking into the August review. So August so far, we've had 7 opens, 4 approved, 6 realized, 15 experiences finished, and 1 experience complete. Today was our first one. In iGT specifically, we've had 6 opens, 2 approved, 5 realized, and 11 experiences finished, and that 1 complete. If you've had an EP who had their experience finished, make sure to contact them. They might not have a survey. If they don't, please send me their information, and I will send it to AI to get a survey connected to their profile. For iGE, we've had 1 open, 2 approved, so that's Austin and Seattle, and Seattle had our first realization in the MC term, and 4 EPs finished so far, and by the end of this month, we'll have 8 EPs finished. So Miami, Boston, and Austin especially, make sure that you guys are talking to your EPs about the standard survey. Highlights from the month. So San Jose had 1 iGT open and a complete. Austin had 1 IGE approved and 2 IGT realized. And also, if you haven't seen it yet, they created a really awesome booklet on standards to use for IR partners. Atlanta had 2 iGT realized with a 3rd one tomorrow. Miami had 1 iGT open. Seattle had 1 iGE open, approved, and realized. And New York City had 1 iGT open and 2 approved so far. So these are the LCs that have helped us get to where we are this month. And shout out to San Jose, who can't be on the call, but they were our first complete in iGT ever. My biggest points of concerns from this month have been approvals. We have about 10 to 14 opportunities open right now that haven't been approved yet, and the visa process. One of the things that happened when I took over was finding that like there is a lot of issues that we have with our visa process, and that we keep sending applications back to LCs. So working on more education around that and more supporting materials so that we can start getting visa apps right the first time. I had a VP tell me there's no such thing as a visa app that's correct the first time through, and I was like, I know that's not true because like I've seen it done before. The next point of concern is finished to completed. So with all the EPs that we do have finishing their experience, we're not translating them into completed. I know that a lot of these EPs might have started their experience a while ago, but that's no reason not to contact them and to talk to them about standards. And then finally, starting sales, it's been feeling really slow. Maybe that's just because we're switching CRMs, but from the MC side, we don't really see much, I haven't seen much activity with sales, and we're almost out of August. And so my worry is if we don't start like really big this week, that it's going to slow everything down for the rest of the semester and the rest of your terms. Any questions? And I will show you guys my face now for questions. So questions about what we just went over between SNC and the state of iGT, iGE, and ISIC US. Nope, you're good. I need some kind of like response. Elias is good. Cool. Everybody else, I'm seeing thumbs. Negative. So Shiva is not good. How can I help you, Shiva? I feel like I regret every time.
I meant no questions, like the negative on.
Gotcha. I thought you were negative in terms of you had questions. All right.
No, I'm all good, Daddy.
Cool. Awesome. Weird. Moving on. So this is your NST. Give them a big round of applause, especially the ones that are on the call. So Shiva from ISIC Atlanta, Elias from ISIC DC, Mike from ISIC New York City, Keisha, I always forget which LC in Australia, but from ISIC in Australia, and Thomas from ISIC in San Jose. So these people stepped up and joined the NST. There's one more NST application still out. So like, if you want to join the NST and are like, wow, working with these people might be good or bad. But working with John is like dope because John is awesome. And iGT and iGE are awesome. You should apply. But what their roles are, so for the sales managers, they're here to support national sales in their products, both in their markets and in other markets that we necessarily don't have a stronger presence in, or with organizations that we think it would be benefit multiple LCs if we can start working with them. While the 2 iGT, iGE creators are working on creating content for the education cycle and materials to help support operations. And so they will be doing that throughout the semester and actually start hosting calls themselves, as well as for your TLs and members. Moving into the tools and trackers. So we have the operations tracker from the MC side, bit.ly/IGT IGE tracker. You can look at it, check it out. I'll be updating this. If you see things that should be there that aren't, let me know so that I can make sure that your opportunity is there. One of the things that happened when we started the term is that we just didn't have anything like this to say like, these are all the opportunities that we like have. Even opportunity control, because it wasn't being updated, we didn't have enough information. Next is the search tool. Any open opportunities you have, please make sure they're updated. I'm going to be starting more IR calls next week. So this is the search tool that I will be sharing with like partners. So please make sure that you have your opportunities here or you take them off when they're expired. I reworked op control, so the old op control is still around. If you need something from it, I can help pull that for you. But we changed it to look more like this. That way you guys can track opportunities by where they are in the flow. My biggest ask is that you make sure that you keep updating things. I don't want the next your successors or my successor to enter like the role and be like, I don't have data. I don't know what happened. I don't have anywhere that like all of this is stored. And especially I've had VPs who are taking over in the middle of the term that I've been working with. And it's one of the feedbacks they had is like, I don't actually know what's been going on in my LC, which is no fault of anybody. We didn't have the right tools. This should help. Next up, this week, we've also released new job questionnaires, new host company applications, new TOAs, new participant applications, and a new offer letter and DS 7002 guide. So make sure you check that out. Please don't use old documents, especially for host company applications and participant applications. If it was filled out before and the opportunity is already open, I will use that host company application. But from now on, please make sure you're sending the new ones because they have more information that we need, including that we need workers' comp certificates from these companies, which the new one says. So they're new, they're longer, they're great, they're amazing. As one anonymous VP said, no man will ever satisfy me the way this job questionnaire will. So let me know if you have questions about them or if you can't find them. Finally, if you have a GT EP that needs housing, send them this link, bit.ly/ISIC housing.
John?
Yep.
Are we supposed to be looking at something?
You guys can't see anything?
This is some, yeah, I got now.
No, but before you couldn't see anything?
No, I could not. They just have questions.
All right. Well, then let me go backwards. Because that is not what was supposed to happen. So you guys didn't see this slide?
No.
All right. Well, this is your NST. This is their faces, if you didn't know what they looked like before. This is the operations tracker and the bit.ly for it. So you guys can check this out. This is our search tool, bit.ly/USA iGT iGTGE.
In the tracker, you said all the current opportunities are in there, all the current like partners or whatever. Is that what you said?
So the ones that I know about or have been open in my term are definitely in there.
Okay, cool.
So if there's something that's not there, it means I don't like necessarily know about it yet, and I'm probably still searching for it. If you want to send me the link to that opportunity, that would make my life a lot easier. The search tool, make sure you update it. New op control, all the new list of documents. If you have a GTEP that needs housing, send them this link. Thanks to Rohit, who I believe actually started conversations with this company a while ago, and then we were able to sign them on to work with us across the US and hopefully across the world. And then the next up, I just wanted to run through HubSpot with you guys just to make sure that you guys are all on board, you understand like how we use it. So first of all, contacts. Every time you reach out to a new person, you should create a contact. If you have the email extension and you're using your Gmail, this will happen automatically, which has been really helpful. It logs all of our interactions so that come February 1st, when somebody's taking over for you, they're not like, what did we say to this company? We have it all in one place, and we can actually see the activity that you guys are doing. Same thing for companies. Every time you reach out to a new company, add them, record your interactions. If it's over email, it'll happen automatically. And every time you book an initial meeting, create a deal for that company in either iGT pipeline or iGE pipeline, and then move them through the flow. And this is how we'll be tracking meetings and your sales activity overall from now on. So we're moving all of our sales stuff off of Podio. And actually by the end of, definitely by the end of the semester, probably in the next few weeks, we're even going to be moving education and materials all off of Podio. So Podio will just be for operations post-opportunity, like post-sale. Comments, questions, concerns? Who's like checked out HubSpot already? Hopes, dreams, emotions?
Will our previous meetings and notes be saved?
So I'm not archiving or deleting the Podio CRM. I'm going to leave it there for now so that you guys can have access to it. I don't plan on like moving it or touching it.
Okay. We'll be able to will we be able to backlog that?
Yep. I mean, I won't be able to add it to HubSpot right now. It's not going to be a priority probably for a while, but it's something I can look into. Cool. Any other questions? If not, then let's move into the focus areas for the month, starting with iGT and iGE. So replanning, if you haven't done this already, please make sure that you're doing your replanning, that you're looking at what is your goal going to be for the rest of the term, and what are the things you need to be doing every week to get there. And then I'd love to have a one-on-one with you guys to go over your new plan and hold you accountable to it. One change from last semester where you guys had NST members as network managers is that I will be the network manager for every single LCVP. So one-on-ones will be happening with me instead of an NST member. You guys are super lucky. I know this has like been what you've been waiting for this entire year, is just to have one-on-ones with me. So I've delivered. Next up is approvals. Can somebody mute Rodrigo? I can't. I found it. There, he's muted. Approvals, if you have opportunities open, make sure that you're getting them approved. Let me know what you need as far as help and support to get that opportunity approved and filled. If it's contacts, if it's IR support, if it's just like, how do I deal with a shitty company that's being a pain in the ass, let me know. If your opportunity closes, so you guys have been doing a good job of reaching out to me to open them, please send me the link when you guys ask me to reopen it, so I don't have to like go and search through it. I'll just log in quickly and I'll open it for you. And finally, sales, everybody's favorite thing. I know all of you guys love doing sales. I've heard like that Mel specifically loves sales more than possibly life itself. And she's going to stay muted and not deny that fact.
God, stop this lying.
But I don't know what just happened. Must have been a glitch on her webcam. Make sure that you're starting sales right now, though. If you don't have members, don't wait for them. Use this time now to get as much sales as you can done. I can't stress enough that the conversations that you're starting over the next 2-3 weeks, especially in GT, will be the things that are most likely to translate into results at the end of the sales timeline. So if you keep waiting and keep putting it off for whatever reason, it just means that you're like making it less likely for yourself to like see the success that you want. So one of the things that I want to talk about at the end of the call is like, what do we need to do to actually get sales moving for both GT and GE? So the things that I came up with, sign up for LinkedIn Sales Navigator. If you haven't used it before, use the free trial. If you have used it before, talk to your VPF about paying for it. It was something that when we had Thomas here over the summer, it helped him a lot, so much so that it's now in the MC budget to have it for the MCVP, iGT, iGE, and PD. Engage your BOA, old leads, and alumni, and aim to personally contact at least 50 companies over the next week. So your role isn't to be here just to manage people, it's also to go out and like do operations. People have asked me, when does that change? When we're realizing more than like 30 exchanges, we can start talking about changing the role. After that, I wanted to also give you guys what is my focus going to be for the next month. So creating value delivery materials and the audit, selecting a B2B seeder to help us with the B2B marketing plan and implementation. What we realized is that we just don't have enough capacity on the MC to do this alone. So we're going to have a seeder, and hopefully I'm going to learn how to spell seeder correctly. And we'll also hopefully have people applying for the NST for this role. Also planning on launching POP testing over the next week. So I'll be sending you guys how to do that, especially now that AI is out of replanning, getting support from them on it. The next step is updating materials. So a lot of them have already been updated, but we hope to like update more of them, help make them either more attractive, communicate the information more clearly, making sure that you guys have the right materials. The education hub, so we just had the TM Summit in New York, and we went over what are the education minimums for a new member to join ISIC. And so making sure that we have the materials on there so that the ISIC US hub, and then eventually the ISIC hub when we transition, is the resource for all members and VPs. And finally, my last focus area has been to have one-on-ones with all of you to understand like where you guys are at and connect with you and help you guys moving forward. So the last topic before we move into like discussion is value delivery and the audit. So value delivery, be on the lookout over the next 2 weeks for clear standard definitions. So what does like beyond just what is standard number 1 according to AI, what does standard number 1 look like in ISIC United States? The next is templates and guides. So literally like think of it as almost like a dummy's guide to value delivery. Every single resource that you can think of or that we thought of to say, this is what you need to try to make sure that the standard is implemented, even if it's a home entity standard, so it's not necessarily our responsibility. I'm making air quotes that you can't see, but believe me, there's still ways that we can like go about trying to ensure it, and we should do that. And then we'll be hosting consultancies as we move into approval and realization peak. Next up is our audit. And so this slide would work a lot better if it was animated. So try to only focus on one piece of text at a time. We have an audit because the LCPs passed an ICX audit in our compendium to make sure we deliver standards to EPs. You can find the audit. I've already added it to Podio in the iGT iGE workspace, so you can check it out there. Let me know if you have questions about it. How often will you be audited? Once a month, usually at the end of the month. When will you find out about the audit process and timeline? By Friday, you should get an email from either me or Casey with this information. What if you fail the audit? Well, if you fail the first time, you'll have a chance to fix it. Your LC will be fine if you don't fix it. And during this first audit, we'll be more lenient. It'll be more of a trial run. To also get a baseline for us to see, okay, where's ICQS now? Because we know that there's stuff that you guys aren't recording proof for because nobody ever told you, hey, like, did you do this? And we understand that. I know that fines kind of suck, but so does an EP not having standards delivered. And the reverse of this is that when you guys are applying for awards and we're doing recognition, we're now going to make sure that we're adding standards and complete and all of that stuff to when we select people. So when you guys are looking at awards at SNC, at WNC, and we bring back the iGT award and we have the iGE award, how you guys are doing on your audits and how you guys are fulfilling standards will play a big role in like who gets selected for those. So with that, that was everything that I had to say that I had a slide for. The last thing is just what are other topics that you guys have that you want to talk about, and also a discussion about what's been going on and how can we make sure sales activity starts this week. Is there any other topics that you guys had? Nope.
Wait, so we do the audits or like we work on it with our LCP?
So you guys, that's for you guys to figure out in your LC. My assumption is you guys will be responsible for the audits, but like if Megan really, really loves you and wants to do it for you, she can, I guess.
Can I coerce her into doing it?
How it gets done, I care less about, more that it's done. So whatever you, I don't want to give you a blank check like that. So if you think coercing her to do your audit for you will be the thing that gets it done, you can do that, Shiva.
Thank you for the clarification, Dad.
No problem. Any other questions about anything that we went over? Nope.
I think you did a great job, Dad, explaining
Thanks.
everything. And that's why none of us have questions.
I really need the positive reinforcement, so thank you, Shiva.
You're
Good
welcome.
job, Dad. You're doing great. Proud of you. Happy to call you my dad.
My Yelp review is 8.5 out of 10.
It's not even an accurate Yelp review.
So
That's
Yep,
out
it
of
is.
5, isn't it?
Okay, well, you know, no one asked you, Elias, so get off the call.
Bye, Elias.
oh man.
10 RTs and John will
Someone's
kick
watching me for this.
Elias off the call. My dad told me if I get 10,000 RTs on this tweet that he'll